Welcome to the Honeymoon Mindset podcast. Even with kids, you can have a honeymoon mindset. We are your hosts,
Kimberly Mullen.
and James Deppa. Hello, parents. It's time for another edition of Honeymoon Mindset with Kids, where we believe when you have a honeymoon mindset, even with kids, you can have it. And when you have a honeymoon mindset, it helps raising kids. Raising kids can be very stressful at times, upsetting, frustrating. But when you have that honeymoon mindset with your partner, you guys can go through anything. You can accomplish it. You can look at it and know you're going to get through it together. And when you have a honeymoon mindset, your kids have a honeymoon mindset because they're confident. They're not self-reliant, but they have a good vision of what life should be like. That's the benefits of a honeymoon mindset. Today's episode, we're going to talk about teenagers in general, some specific things. Kimberly's not here today. We miss her greatly. We miss her insights and the conversation that we have. But since she's not here, we'll talk a little bit teenagers because I've helped raise 7. My first wife and I had 5, and Beth has had 2. So Beth and I, between 2 of us, we say we have 7 kids. My youngest is a junior in high school. All the other 6 are graduated college in the workforce. 3 of mine are married now. Still can't believe that. Wow. But as teenagers, they got a lot going on. They got a lot of changes going on in life, and they don't know how to go through it. They're scared. They don't feel like they can talk to anybody. That's where when you have a honeymoon mindset, but Kimberly and I say this a lot. We as parents need to listen with our heart to help them navigate life. Some of the changes they're going through is physically. They're changing. They're going through puberty. Their hormones are raging. Their hormones are changing their bodies, changing their chemistry, changing their mentality, their emotions. They're trying to figure all that out. Now add in going to high school, junior high. Okay, you go from having pretty much one primary teacher to 3 to 5, 6 during the day. Now they have all those new expectations and learning styles to figure out and maintain. I had it on. Now you got an hour or 2 of homework every night to figure out. And if they're in sports, wow. Plus, they get inundated by social media, TV, radio, on what to do, how to do it, because they can understand a lot more. We as parents need to be there for our kids. I know our jobs dictate when we work and when we don't work, how often we can be available to our kids. Our jobs are tiring. Our jobs can be frustrating, upsetting. How we parents do that? And with a honeymoon mindset. I know there's times where we didn't want to leave the kids at home, but we had to. It built the trust. You wanted that trust. We as parents need to be consistent with our kids, especially at teenagers. They need that consistency. They want it. Yes, they may hate rules, limitations. They fight it. They look to find ways around it, push back. But kids like rules, even as teenagers. It gives them that sense of security. It gives them a sense of boundaries. It helps them know what they can and can't do. Because there's so much out there going on in life that they're trying to figure out. And some of the times they go out there, that's like they don't know what to do. They don't know where to go, how to do it. Or if they can come home, they have a set of rules and boundaries, it becomes a security blanket. As long as those rules and boundaries make sense and are legit. because I know there's some homes, they're good, and some are in good intentions, but they're a little too strict. Each home is different. Each parent is going to be different. Each family structure is different. I understand that, and I realize that. You got to do what your is too. But make sure it makes sense for your child, your teenager. Rules are good. It helps create identity in your teenagers. It helps give them that safety feel. But not over strict either. Where's the balance? I can't tell you that. I really can't. It goes on each child, each kid, each family structure. But back to you and your partner, how you handle it. Your teenagers. You gotta be there for them. You need to listen. You need to spend time with your teenagers, even though they may roll their eyes, throw attitude, get pissed off, but that's okay. You need to be there for your teenagers. They need to know that there's somebody there that they can come talk to. And more than anything, the teenagers want their parents there. They want to be able to talk to you and no one else. Just like us as adults, we want somebody to talk to. That's why we have a partner. We have somebody we know we can go to. We can vent. We can open up. We can be vulnerable with. Now, when I say listen, be there for your kids. Again, we're not listening with our brains. We want to listen with our hearts. Again, Kimberly and I say that we need to listen with our hearts. That's what our kids want and need. They want our hearts. Now, I don't mean in a compassionate way. What I mean by listening with our hearts is they want us to just sit there and listen. Be open-minded. Listen to what they're saying. Not to be judgmental. Listen for the tones. Listen for the pain or excitement in their voice and their words that they choose to use. And their body language that they use. And to be able to discuss things. They want to be able to have a conversation with you. I remember with my kids, how many times did I try to be analytical, jump to conclusions, assume, and it's hurt me dearly. Some of the facts of that I'm still paying for yet today with some of my older kids back when they're in high school. For some, that was 7-8 years ago. Because I didn't listen with my heart. I'm still feeling the effects of it. It's a lot better, but it's still there. Parents of teenagers, I know it's hard. I know there's a lot of things going on. There's a lot of things your teenagers want that cost money. Yeah, let them get a job. Let them experience life that way. Phones, internet, social media. They gotta learn to surf through all that. But they also need to learn that there needs to be limits. They also need to know that they may see something, but they can still come talk to you. Parents, we need to be there for our kids. Now, I'm not saying the kids come first. No, our relationship together with your partner comes first. You need to take care of yourself as well. Because when you take care of yourself, your kids will learn how to take care of themselves. They'll learn what a healthy mental state, healthy mental attitudes are. How do they learn that? They learn by watching you. We are the examples for our kids, first and foremost. If they're not getting it from us, they get it from the internet. How to self-soothe, self-happy, or self-regulate emotions. Do they see you taking time out? Do they get to experience with you? Do they get to sit down with you and talk to you about it and ask questions why? When you get upset and frustrated, do they get to sit down and ask you questions why? What made you do that? Get upset? Why did you yell at your partner? Do they get to see that too? We are the examples. They are looking to us. And if they don't get the answers, if they get brushed off or always given the cold shoulder or we'll talk about it later and later never comes, how would you like that if your partner did that to you? Let's put it in that aspect. If your partner, you wanted to talk to your partner something, oh, we'll talk about it later, or no, not now. Oh, well, just because that's just the way it is. It's just who I am. It's just the way I handle stuff. If your partner did that, treat you, you're going to get upset. You can get frustrated. There's going to create tension, animosity. Same thing with your teenagers. They're looking to build that trust. They're looking to build that reputation with you. That love, that unconditional love. Just like you and your partner, when you guys come to each other, want to talk about something, you're open and you're honest. Because you know it's a safe spot to go. That's what your teenagers want. Your teenagers want you to be that safe spot. They want to come to you. They want to know what their limits are too. They may not always agree, but they need to know and want to know. Oh, why don't we say those words? Oh, why don't we do that? Why don't we watch that? Well, here's why. Oh, I saw this on the internet today. Can we talk about it? Of course, let's talk about it. I understand when you have a hard, frustrating day, and your partner's had a hard, frustrating day, the last thing you really want to do is go home, make dinner, and deal with your kids. I've been there. I've done that. I've ignored my kids, and it's hurt me. If I would have just taken the time to talk to them, listen to them, it would have been better. I remember times where I have done that, and my worries and problems just sort of melted away. It wasn't a deal. I got this second burst of energy, this second life, because I had my kids around. Because I had my family. Listen to their things, listen to their situations. And the other thing is when they kids learn that, and they're able to feel open and honest to talk to you, you can sit back and you can listen to their stories as they talk to each other or as they talk to your partner. It's like you get this huge sense of confidence. You get this huge sense of pride and accomplishment for the way your kids are turning out. You get to see it right there before your eyes. Even as teenagers, you can see it. You can hear it. But they want to learn it from us first as parents. But in order for we need to have a honeymoon mindset. We need to treat each other with the greatest respect and vulnerability and listening with our hearts. Giving each other permission to be open and honest. And when you do that, no matter what your kids are going through or experiencing, your teenagers will open up and be open and honest with you. So when they say, yeah, I'm going to go out with friends, you know they're going to go out with friends. Or if they're presented in a questionable situation, you know as parents, or a topic at school, they know they can come talk to you and be open and honest. They can experience life the way they need to experience life. And it can be a great experience so that they don't need to fret life. They don't need to fear life. A honeymoon mindset is something that your kids need and want because it affects them for many, many years, and it affects the relationship that you have with your kids, and especially as teenagers. I know there's not a lot of how-tos in this podcast today. in this episode. More so the effects of what a honeymoon mindset can do for teenagers and why they need it. And if you have somebody that you know that is struggling with their teenagers, let them listen to this podcast or another episode that might help them. Have them check out passionatelifementors.com or on Facebook and Instagram. Have them check out Honeymoon Mindset Facebook group. Have them send us a DM, email. All that contact information is there. We will talk to them for free. Free 1 hour session. We'll do what we can to listen and to help them move forward with their relationships with their children. A honeymoon mindset is very valuable and something that you choose every day, even with kids and for your kids and your teenagers. Again, one thing that a couple weeks ago we did is make sure you give your kids hugs every day. Make sure you give your kids hugs and tell them how important they are to you and to your partner. They need to see that no matter what, they need to know that you love each other and you're there for them unconditionally. Thank you for listening to this episode of Honeymoon Mindset with Kids, and we'll see you next time.